So as y'all know, I went out to run my errands. And on my way back, one of the errands, I told y'all I needed to get another blow dryer, right? So when I left to go get the blow dryer, I stopped by CVS on the way out. They didn't have what I was looking for. I always get the blow dryers with the comb. Then after I left CVS, I went from CVS to Walgreens. Stopped in there just to look and see if the blow dryer was in there. They did have one, and it was to my liking. But I said, well, let me go ahead and continue my journey to Walmart to get what I needed, and then look and see if they had other items that I needed as well, right? And I'm gonna tell you why this makes me so sad. And so when I went to go purchase my thing, my game plan was to have my debit card, then I have a couple of Walmart gift cards, and then, I had some cash on hand. So I purchased that, and then I went to go look for, because I put a portion of it on the gift card, so I went to go look for my debit card, because I was going to put the remainder on my debit card. Then I realized, hey, I don't have my debit card with me, so I put the rest with the cash that I had. And I didn't think nothing about it. I had maybe $10 in cash left to my name. So I was thinking about going to um, the Chinese buffet, which was right there because I wanted seafood. My first initial game plan was to buy some Old Bay seasoning and some butter and bring it with me in there because it's never seasoned that way, and that's the way I like mine seasoned. But being that I didn't have my debit card, I only had $10, I just went to see if maybe, I don't know how much the buffet is. Maybe it was $8, but it's not, it's $13. Maybe because it's Sunday, maybe because all the prices went up. So I said, okay, no problem. Went on about my business, but I was like, should I go to Winn-Dixie and get some crabs? Or should I go to, or should I just stop by Wendy's and pick up something quick? I wanted something hot. I wanted something seafood. That's what I wanted. And I was going to pick up, they have a crab bag there that's like $9 or $10. So I didn't think nothing of it. Stopped by Wendy's. I got 2 orders of the 4 for $4 combo. Now, one thing I didn't mention, I don't know what's going on, but when I go places, and I'm going to tell you the story, I had to ball up my bag and put it under my arm. And I'll tell you the whole story about that in just a minute. So, so this is what happened. And now I'm about to choke myself with this. So I will never go there again. This is so sad to me. I'm going to tell you. And this is the Royal Boutique in Valdosta, Georgia. It's a Korean-owned shop. And I'm so sad about this. So this is definitely, the last. It's all gone. There's, I've had a lot of stuff happen to me this year that I've never had happen before. Never, So, so one thing that I noticed when I walked into CVS the first time, I noticed that this woman looked at me really oddly. I didn't think nothing of it. This bag, usually this is my shopping bag. Normally, I'll have it folded up into my fanny pack, until I shop. And then when I shop and I purchase stuff, I put it in there because I don't like when I'm walking home for people to obviously see that I've been shopping, right? So, yeah. So I didn't have anything in my hands. This bag was rolled up in my fanny pack because I was on my way to Walmart. Stopped by Walgreens just to look, and CVS just to look to see if they had the blow dryer that I needed. Right? So this woman actually put her hands on me. So I noticed, like I said, when I went to CVS, there was a heavyset white girl that was in there, and she was looking at me real funny. And I was thinking, well, maybe it's because I flat ironed my hair, And then the last time, and that was the same place that I went to last time where I said some Latin girl was really rude to me, and I actually was on live and I showed it. But I didn't think nothing of it, I'm just looking for the blow dryer. I didn't see it. I walked back out. But it was so weird. The look that she gave me was so direct and so pointed. But I'm thinking, maybe these days I'm just really, really weird and I don't know it. And I said, well, maybe because I have on my headset. And maybe that's what's making her look at me like that, And so It could be anything. Or maybe because my shoes are worn. I don't know why she was looking at me like that. And then I thought, well, maybe the world is just crazy and I just really don't know what the fuck is going on. But I didn't make nothing of it, kept on going about my business. But like I said, on the way back, I decided to go to Wendy's, stopped and had 2 orders of the Wendy's meal. And I keep saying for here, and they keep me this bag, like the carryout bag. The first time I let the person know, I thought maybe they changed up and they don't use trays anymore. And then he was like, oh, you want a tray? And I was like, yes, please. So he gave me one. Went back and got a second order. And the black girl, gave me a carryout bag again. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. But okay, fine. So then, on the way back, I was like, well, let me double check and make sure I have which store is which, right? Because the one that was at Walgreens, I was like, yeah, I'll definitely get that. But I couldn't remember, was it actually at Walgreens or was it at CVS? I walked in, I had already passed Walgreens, so I couldn't walk back in there and double check. So I went to CVS to see if it was in there. It wasn't in there, so it had to be Walgreens. And I didn't get a chance to check at Walmart because that's when I realized I didn't have a debit card. So then there's a place called Royal Boutique that's like a black beauty supply store, and it's owned by Korean people. My mom always told me when I was younger to never go into the Korean shops. And I've been in Korean shops on occasion, and I've never had problems with Korean people. Nobody, even though my mom warned me not to go into those places, I never had problems with those Korean people, right? Never have. The only thing I've overheard them talking about me in Korean was like, oh, chonchun, like I moved too slow. But I was moving slow because I was sad. Like I moved too slow. Why she moved so slow? And then I had comments when I used to work out a lot back in the day when I was in Atlanta at Bally's. Like I was doing it like I was so easy. I used to really work out, you guys, like 5 a.m. to 8, 9, 10 at night, right? But this is the first time this has been a first for a lot of things for me this year, unfortunately, So as I was coming back, I said, well, let me stop in there and see if they have the blow dryer that I need, for a decent price. So, as soon as I walked in, because I don't like wandering around the store or nothing, I asked a little old lady that was sitting in the corner. And really, she's not really old. She looks my age. But when I was younger, she would be somebody I would call an Ajima. And so, I said, hey, where are your blow dryers? What aisle is your blow dryers on? She said, the blow dryers are on the aisle right here. And she pointed like the counter is here, like right back to the left of the counter. There's a I guess like a display with, I guess hair appliances. So I saw all the curling irons, but I was like, I'm looking for a blow dryer. And I was about to ask her, but then I noticed that the blow dryers were off to the right. When I looked at the blow dryers, the pricing on the blow dryers, the one that I saw that I liked, I'm close up. The one that I saw that I liked was actually at Walgreens. And now that I'm talking about it, nobody watches this, but it probably will not be there anymore. But it was only $31.99. It was double ceramic. And I was like, oh, that's nice, But the ones that she had at her place was like $34.99. And it was the regular old ones from way back in the day that she got for $19. No ceramic, none of that. Then $24.99. And I was like, no, Walgreens is the best thing. But if I decide that, I don't want to go out that far, then I'll just stop back by here. Didn't think anything more of it. And I had this Frosty in my bag because I ordered 2 for $4 deals. The second one, because I already had a drink, they have peppermint Frosty or something. I asked for that in place. But let me tell you how that went. It's so weird. My life is so weird. I said, hey, I've already purchased a 4 meal. For this one, is it possible that I can get a replacement of double fries or another burger or something else? She was like, oh, we don't do replacements. You just get what you get. I was like, okay, no problem. And I was like, really? Y'all used to do Frosties? Oh, she was like, oh, well, you can get a Frosty replacement. I said, oh, okay. What kind of Frosties do you have? Because it's been a minute. I don't remember. Is it just chocolate and vanilla? She was like, no, we have peppermint. So it's just all these exchanges are really odd, like really weird. I don't know what's going on. So I was like, okay, give me the peppermint. So I ate everything. I was overly full for like less than $9. And then I had this that was left over, and half of it spilled out. So as I'm walking, at first I didn't notice anything. I was like, it's so cold out here, it probably won't even melt, And I looked in my bag and it was dripping. And so I turned it I turned it around the other way, so that it was right side up. And I was like, okay, it should be okay. But then I noticed the bag was still dripping. So I took this and I put it, so I had everything like this. So then I took this out of my bag and I put it in here like this so that it wouldn't continue dripping. I didn't see what I wanted, so I went ahead and I left the store. Next thing I know, the lady is yelling out the door and she says, ma'am, your bag is dripping something. I said, I know, I'll take care of it when I get home. I continued on about my way. She was like, no, come here. And I was like, no, ma'am, I'll take care of it when I get home. And I kept going. She was like, no, but you dropped something. You dropped something in the store and you got to clean it up. And it was nothing dripping like that, And I was like, no, ma'am, I think you have me messed up. I am going home. And so then she comes out of the store. And she comes behind me and she pulls me and tries to grab my bag. And I'm like, ma'am, absolutely not, I, I said, absolutely not. Then she tried to say that I stole something from the store. And I was so shocked. I've never had anybody do me like that before. I was like, what? And I was like, no, ma'am, no, I haven't. And I was just like, don't put your hands on me. So she did it again. So I pushed her back off of me. I'm not a violent person. So even with that, it was just me doing this to get her off of me. Right. And so then she says, well, I'm calling the police. And I said, yes, ma'am, please do that. And I got my stuff and I kept going. And so then she's following me all the way to the end of the parking lot the whole time. And at this point, she's right up on me. So I feel like she's about to try to snatch my bag or something. So that's when I took my Frosty out of my bag and I rolled it up and I put it under my arm. And she was like, oh, I'm calling the police. I said, please do, but don't continue to hit me. If you want to take a picture of me, so you know what I look like and you can give it to him. But don't do that. She's actually assaulting me. And I don't know what's going on with my life because that's never happened to me before. This is the first time ever. And especially by a Korean person. I've never had it. My mom warned me about that, but I've never had that happen. There's nothing about me that would think that. But what I think really the truth of the matter is that maybe, I had something that dripped on my bag and maybe somebody noticed on my foot that maybe I had something and they said something. And maybe she, was trying to get me to come and clean up something for real. And maybe she was mad about that. So she was like, oh, okay, I'm going to put my hands on you and and I'm going to call the police, So I can't believe that. And it was so ironic. I told you how God works with me. The way God works with me is the moment that I say, I can't believe how somebody do something or do this or that. God is like, oh, you can't believe it? I would never have believed that would have happened to me. I've never had that happen before. Never. Not like that, And I'll tell you about the legal situation way back. So this is a good time to talk about that. But that's exactly what it was. Earlier today, I just did a vlog about Karens and how I thought that was a misnomer, that when people just do the wrong things, there's some people that bit out the shape because they did something wrong and somebody mentioned it. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as I did that, within the same day, within a couple of hours, on my way back, that was on my way going to, that I made that Karen video. God works fast. But on my way back, I had it happen to me. I have never had that type of experience. Even when I was in Walmart and I came out and I went to the Chinese place. And I think Asian people might even have more of an aversion to me. Because when I went to the Chinese place and I asked how much the price was, and I was like, maybe I'm just weird because they had like and I said, maybe I'm just giving off weird vibes and I don't know it. They had like the temperature checker thing. And, I was reading it and I think you're supposed to step up. So I tried to step up to it. Nothing happened. And so the guy that was cashing out trying to pay and the Chinese boy, young man or whatever behind the counter, they were both looking at me. I was like, okay, perhaps I'm being weird. Let me just not try to do it. I'll, if he asked to do it, then he asked, but I'm not going to mess with it because they're looking at me. So I'm like, okay, fine. And it was nothing. It was just me looking at it and stepping up. So just get my forehead, whatever it needed to do. And then I asked the Chinese guy, how much is the buffet right now? And his reaction was so weird. He was like 12.95, but it was like he kind of rolled his head and rolled his eyes at the same time. And I'm like, what is going on? But I'm like, okay, I just have to face it. I'm just giving off weird vibes or something because everybody's really responding very weirdly to me. I don't even understand it. I don't get it, you know? And when I walked into CVS, like I said, the way that the woman looked at me so weird, the way that the woman looked at me so weird, it was so weird that there was a white woman, but it was so weird that the black girl that she was cashing out was a chunky black woman like me. She was chunky, she was black, had a scarf on her head, and she didn't look like, somebody that kept well made up, kept up or whatever. And I think I may have seen her at the bank before. It was so strong or so weird the way that she was staring at me that the girl that was cashing out was looking at her like, what's going on? Yeah, it's something really weird. I have no idea what's going on, but it's like weird. I've never had that happen, ever, ever, ever. And so there's some things at the new job, but it's nothing. I don't think it's anything. It's things that I'm used to, and that I have made up my mind that I will not just let things. I will address everything because, like I said before, pain. It's important for you to address or let them know about your pain, because if you don't, then they will gladly kill you and not, and then tell people that you were happy about it. I'm not. It doesn't work that way. But it was just so weird. I never had to have. She actually attacked me. I've never, ever, ever had that happen. She actually attacked me. She actually attacked me. This woman actually attacked me. I can't believe it. I've never had that happen. Never. She attacked me like I was some hoodlum. I'm like, what? And she was trying to draw me back by saying that something was dripping and that I have to go back in her store or whatever to clean it. I was like, what? I was like, no, ma'am, that's not happening. And I continued. And she was like, I'll follow you home. I was like, that's fine, but keep your distance. You can follow me if you like, but keep your distance. She was right up on me, trying to put her hands on me. I've never, never had that happen before. Like, what? Seriously, what? I've never had that happen. Never, ever, ever. So weird. So weird. In other news, God works for me because it's a good thing I didn't have my debit with me, because I would have bought, I'm still going to buy the blow dryer when I get a chance, but I would have done that. I would have went to the buffet at the Chinese place. And the last time I went to that buffet at the Chinese place, I was there for the lunch buffet. And it was like, I didn't know that the dinner buffet started at 3. And so I guess around 2 o'clock, I saw crab legs pick up. So I started eating the crab legs. And then the lady was telling me, oh, that's for dinner, the girl that worked there. I was like, oh, okay, well, it would be nice if they had told me or had a sign up or something. So I didn't want any weirdness. So I just paid for dinner. But it's so weird. Like, what is going on? Like, what is this energy that I'm giving off that is just making people crazy? Like, literally, like I said, nothing was said at the CVS when I walked in there, but the eyes, I didn't know what she was looking at, but it'd be even weirder if I came and said, hey, there's something I need to know. Because if they don't want you to know, they're not going to tell you. And then you're even more weirder because you said something. I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't need to be anywhere. But it's so weird how that happens. So that was my experience at the Royal Boutique. I've been there I've lived in Valdosta for maybe, I don't know, 3-4 years now. I've been there maybe 3 times. So I went there to buy that one time, and flip-flops a couple of times. They were very cheap and they broke. But I will never go there again. And I can't believe that. So that's exactly what happened. I'm like, what? So what do you do when someone attacks you like that? So I guess in a way, maybe that's God's way of telling me, and if I had something, I probably would have hurt her because she deserved to be hurt. But I'm just non-confrontational, get off me, get off me. And that made me think back to the story. Like I said, God works funny. All these stories are coming back together about the Shankiel person. That was what she was doing. She was very non-confrontation. They were beating her down to her death. To her death. And she didn't see. This is what I mean. This is so weird. These guys are looking at me weird too. Y'all, I don't know what's going on. They stopped now, but it's like I came and all it was is it's still eyeballs. Look at that shit. I just walked up, minding my business. What the hell? Did he just flick me off? I think he did. These are like kids or something. I have no idea what's going on. And now he's waving. I don't even think he speaks English. This is so weird. What is wrong with people? Something's really wrong with people. They don't know that I live here. I'm coming across the street because I live here. This is so weird, y'all. This is so weird. I was just walking over here, getting ready to cross the street because I actually live over here. What in the world? People are crazy. Like, what is going on? Like, I don't understand. I don't know. I have no idea. It's like everything is so weird today. I got to type out a lady. Then I'm walking, and these are like teenagers. They look like teenagers. Could be grown men. But I'm walking. I was vlogging, not paying attention to those people. Next thing I know, they both stopped and started looking at me, like dead at me, and smiling and carrying on and laughing. I'm like, what is going on? I don't know these folks. I don't even talk to those people. They just moved there probably within the year. And that's the kind of stuff I've been getting all day long. When I went to the CVS, the same thing, the white woman, she was ringing out somebody and she stopped to pointedly look at me, like the same way they were looking at me. I'm like, what is going on? It's weird. And this is what I talked about before, how it's too many coincidences. And then he started waving me over there. I don't know if the camera picked that up, but I didn't have my camera out fast enough to get the lady from the Royal Boutique. She was a Korean woman putting her hands on me. I didn't have my camera ready for that because I was expecting that. Like, for what, Then finally I was like, okay, this is getting really crazy and aggressive. I need to pull my camera out. And, I never thought that would be me. Never. I've never, ever had that happen in my life. And it would be okay if, okay, one and done, weird situation. But it was weird situation after weird situation all day long. But it's like, it didn't register to me because I always get the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm just giving off weird vibes, or maybe, like I said, 'cause I have on this weird ass headset, maybe that's what it is, but no, it's like every single like interaction has been weird. And like I said, I try to disregard it. Like, okay, maybe because my shoes they're talking. The shoes are worn out. Like, what is the thing? But I'm thinking, it can't be that out of the ordinary where it would call for all that. And it's too many different people, places, and things with the same type of reaction or attitude for it to be like, okay, that's just that one person. That's that one person. That's just them. It's not just them. It's a lot. And that's why I said, well, maybe I'll just chalk it up to me. Maybe it's me. But literally, I was doing nothing but walking across the street. I don't know, has anybody else had that experience where it's just like all these weird things happen? And it's literally, and that's why, and I don't want to be the person to walk around with a camera on all the freaking time, but it's weird. And then also with my she shed, like I have it set up, like y'all know I just threw some curtains over it or whatever, but I have it set up where I have, a storage thing blocking the entrance of it, and the curtains are covered at. And then I will come out and see the curtains like completely flipped over onto the other side. And it's not that much wind out here, it's not a storm, nothing. It would take somebody to actually take effort to do that, to make that happen. But, I blew it off like maybe it was, I mean, I don't have anything that anybody would really want, so I don't see any purpose for that. And I would just check to see if the major things that I would use are missing. I don't see nothing missing, so I'm okay. And then also I would keep an ear out and I don't hear anything weird, And then like yesterday, I tried to make sure everything was closed up appropriately. But when I came out this morning, again, the curtain was moved in a way that was just unnatural. It's so weird. I have like all this weird ass shit happening around me. And it's like I said, it's not just, if it was just one person, like, okay, the lady looked at me funny at CVS. Like I said, I blew it off to maybe because of my headset, maybe because I flattened my hair. She's just like not used to seeing that. Or maybe because my shoes was raggedy. She really was looking at my raggedy shoes. I don't know what the problem was, you know, but I was like, okay, whatever, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I just blew it off. I didn't think about it. But then after I got attacked by the woman at the Royal Boutique, I'm just like, I've never had that happen. And it's really sad. And it's so coincidental because I was just talking about Karens and how I think it's a misnomer because it's just basically when people are not doing something they're supposed to do, somebody will come out and say something. But that wasn't the case at all. That wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. I was doing nothing. I went in, and actually, it was all of like 60 seconds. I was in the store. I said, "Hey, you know, because I don't like walking around the store because I don't like being in those types of places. I don't like those black beauty supply places because it's so ghetto. And I've seen certain things on the news. I've never had it happen to me, but I didn't want to be that type of victim, you know. So, you know, I don't mess with it, you know." And I said, before I even crossed the threshold, "Hey, where are your blow dryers? What all are your blow dryers on?" She said, "Right here." It was next to the counter. It was actually next to the register. And you're right, whoever said be careful out there. But it's just so weird. And I wonder, Jamel, does anybody else see that this is weird? I mean, it's just weird. Just weird. I don't get it. But anyways, hopefully I don't get home and see something crazy there too. I'm gonna take a break and then get back on to my cycle. I was literally just crossing the street because this is where I live at. I wasn't paying attention to them, paying them no mind at all. Paying them no mind. It's crazy.